Petz Sports, released in 2008 by Ubisoft. Yeah, Ubisoft. That kind of threw me off at first. It's almost like finding out The Evil Dead was made by Nickelodeon. It just seems a little bit off. Petz Sports is a pet racing game, but tries to pass itself off as a pet raising simulator. You first choose from a variety of dog breeds. No breed is actually better than the others, so it's just a visual preference, really. Maybe you have a real dog that looks like the one you pick. Maybe you love 101 Dalmatians, or like me, you just want to pick the most pathetic looking dog possible. And yeah, this one here is a pretty sad looking dog. I think I'll pick this. You then get to name your puppy, always a good feature for bonding with your virtual pet further. I named my dog Kylo Ren. You're afraid that you will never be as strong as Darth Vader. You are then given your doggy adoption certificate with a Progressive car insurance ad. Does this game know it's an ad? Whoa, calm down there, Kylo. So here's your bedroom where you can choose various activities called caring games to play with your pet. Each area gives very helpful instructions on how to play. You can play with a keyboard or mouse. I chose the mouse to play with. And the way you use the mouse, it really feels like a Wii game. In this petting game, your dog kind of points to an area on his body he would like you to pet. And then you pet him. Now, like I said earlier, this game is like a pet simulator, but it's not. There's no stats like hunger or happiness. So these extra caring games, I suppose, just kind of break up the racing section. The intro to each race is rather unflattering to the dogs. Here's Kylo Ren licking his crotch. This one thinks there's a door in front of him. This one shrivels up in fear, and this one's relieving himself. During the races, you flick the mouse back and forth as fast as you possibly can. And I'll tell you, after a bit, this actually really starts hurting your arm. There's no warning on the box that this game causes injury, but yes, it actually can. Each course will have obstacles in it that require other mouse motions like up and down or 360s. Messing up on one of these things, of course, slows you down. You try to place usually first or second. I always got second or first. Now, as you progress through the levels, you do get these little gifts. You could get adoption coins so you can have multiple pets to play with. No thank you. And you can unlock clothes for your dogs to wear. These clothes are often degrading or humiliating. And poor little Kylo Ren actually doesn't know how ridiculous he actually looks. So these caring games consist of little mini games like playing jump rope with your dog. And it's in a dance rhythm game style.
Kylo Ren, oh he's so fine. Rey will join the dark side in episode 9. Pepper, 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 salt. Pepper, 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 salt.
I don't like rhythm games very much, so unfortunately I really didn't like this one. This game you get to teach your dog some tricks. You guide a biscuit through a maze and try not to touch the sides. If you touch the sides, your dog loses his concentration and eats the biscuit, and you have to try again. You're also chased by this chomping timer, and to increase the challenge, they make some of the passages a little more narrow. So you need to rotate the biscuit to get through, and it's an alright game for about 2 minutes. And then you're bored. In this next pet game, you play fetch with your dog. These targets appear above the dog, I guess kind of representing him catching the ball. You have to hit a certain amount of targets in a certain time. If you hit a bullseye, it doesn't seem to matter, there's no score, so not much incentive on accurate aiming. And shooting the ball from a slingshot just didn't seem right to me. I always thought there was a fine line between tossing a ball at your dog and firing a projectile at your dog. But yeah, not a really enjoyable game either. Now going back to the races, there's about 5 tournaments, each with 10 stages, about 1 minute long each. In every tournament they add a couple new obstacles to kind of increase the challenge. But it's not really the obstacles that are challenging, it's swinging the mouse back and forth at a rapid, constant pace. My wrist hurt after playing this. This game can physically hurt you. Now the racing game is a little fun, timing out your jumps and twirly spins. But in the end, it's just really a kind of on-rails, click the button now and again game. Now, other than the wrist problems this game might cause, you have to play those boring mini-games to advance in the races. Now remember, these games don't improve your dog's stats, because he has none. And you need to play so many of the same game over and over and over and over. Play 5 levels of dog tricks, 5 levels of jump rope, 5 levels of fetch, plus 5 levels of advanced dog tricks to unlock a race. 5 levels of each game run about 10 to 15 minutes, which is pretty much you'll be spending about 40 minutes playing these boring minigames. And then afterwards you have the 15 minutes of wrist-wrecking racing. I just seriously did not have a good time playing this. This probably would have been a little more fun if they put a larger variety of minigames in this, and maybe have a couple stats to put points into. Now, I'm not saying a pet simulator, just a few stats like speed or strength. You would earn these points to the minigames, and this would make it feel like these games are contributing to your pet and not just blocking your racing progress. And I did finally get to the World Championship Cup, but if I wanted to play it, I would have to play the minigames to unlock it. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't sit through those minigames for another 40 minutes. I just can't. That was it. I gave up. So overall, if I was to describe my experience with pet sports, I would have to say it was boring and it was painful. Actually, physically painful. So if you get an opportunity to play this, don't.